few weeks back, I introduced an idea about announcers and how unnaturally patient the second man usually is. Not the play-by-play guy, but the other guy. And I did my best to find examples of what I was looking for when patience breaks down and the human nature of the now breaks through, right? Except for anybody around Mike Breen. Here's the clip, but then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about another one that I found that just blows my mind that I didn't realize was there. So we're going to talk about it after we watch the clip that nobody saw because the video was copyright claimed and nobody got notified. Here, for the few people that did see it, thank you very much and enjoy it again. All right, we go hit play. For some people, that they're living in the future. One common way to filter down to only the most exciting plays in sports history is to look for the moment when both announcers, the color commentary and the play-by-play guy, saying "woo" at the same time. No immediate clever commentary, no taking turns, just both announcers screaming at the same exact time and then returning to their routine. You ever get those moments? Something special just happened, right? The system broke down. They are no longer going by their script. They are just being humans in a moment.
Calm you down. They'll work their plays. Steal. He kept it in bounds. Here it is again. Oh! Yes! Oh!
You also might be surprised how infrequent it is. It's amazing how much restraint the non-play-by-play guys have. I mean, amazing dunks, game winners, playoff game winners. I can't tell you how many highlights I have watched. The unbelievable happens and they are able to just keep that to themselves. I always thought it was incontrollable. You know, those yells. Whoa! What? I thought those were incontrollable. But they just wait their turn and add their 2 cents when the play-by-play guy is done.
Miller got a piece of it.
Well, this is a reversal of fortune. First, LeBron James tries to test Jermaine O'Neal and gets it sent back. And Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your...
No. It was close. Listen, we here at the Storyteller Industries refuse to let Reggie Miller finish that.
Welcome to your coach.
No, Reggie. No, Reggie.
But...
No buts, Reggie. Well, not yet. Anyway, and they stay excited. They keep that energy up. The good ones do. But as I alluded to, sometimes they just can't wait. Sometimes it is uncontrollable. It does happen more often with the local guys, the local team broadcasters, but still, even that's rare. But just to make it clear, after a whole darn day of sifting through the NBA's most shocking and most amazing and most greatest moments, I ended the day with 4 clips. Hundreds on hundreds of clips to learn that there is an unnatural amount of restraint, or I guess weird professionalism going on here. What we have is a play-by-play guy who makes the call and gets to have the reaction, while the entire rest of the broadcast team just sits in silence or with their hands over their mouth, waiting for a turn to be excited, which doesn't always work out. Listen, I'm sure there's more of these. I'm sure more than 4 times the system is broken down and we accidentally saw real human reactions from real humans who happen to be next to microphones. Now, I will say in my search, there were a few times that I thought I heard 2 voices initially screaming, hollering at the same time, like this clip.
It's a physical game.
But I can't really determine if that little almost laugh-like sound in the beginning is the second guy, the analyst, or it's just the runway into the "oh me oh my, oh if you don't believe it now then for basketball's sake, oh whatever" from old trusty McDougal. Point is, these 4 clips are indisputable. 2 or more professional guys screaming at the same time like pure fans. Except they're on TV.
Hornets got a pair. Lamb lost it. Has to fire. Oh! What? Jeremy Lamb wins it. Unbelievable. What just happened? Toronto.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? Game! Series! Toronto has won!
David blocks in the playoffs. Great passing.
And you just cannot deny the excitement of the moment, the energy, and I think it's really fun. Now, side note, up until now, I've been approaching this from an American point of view, where I guess the ideal situation, or at least the one that happens the most, is to not have more than one person talking or making any kind of sound, especially as you go up the ladder. Because see, at the network level, we have this crew, the Breen team, and then some variation on TNT, Kevin Harlan or Marv Alberts. You know what happens? Nobody ever squeezes their way into a Mike Breen bang. Yeah, okay. At least I couldn't find a single instance. Not the LeBron block, the Steph shot, where the other guys are heard during these incredible moments. I feel like that's some sort of contractual thing. I don't know, I feel like Mike Breen really wants to have his moment. In this situation, they may even be cutting Mark and Jeffy's mic. I don't know. Or maybe these guys are just so jaded, it's not much for them. Same for the TNT crew. As much as people get on Reggie, Reggie will always wait patiently to add his extremely dated references, the ones we won't play here. Similar to Mark on ABC, who has that mama there goes that pan, mama there goes that fan.
Mama, there goes that mama.
Cocked and ready to go. But again, this is from some weird American POV. And honestly, that's kind of weird, because those clips we played were pretty darn fun, hearing those real, genuine reactions in the moment. Not worrying about overbalancing the natural conversation and the TV performance and just going with it. But how about the rest of the world? Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and use this Steph Curry dagger as our test. And we know, in this situation, Mike Breen hit the kill switch on everybody's mic. He was alone with his bang. It's actually incredible how long until somebody else got a chance to say something. You know, they wait for the replay for the analyst guy to say something. But again, for reference, let's play it.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Westbrook gets off a decent look. The banker.
In this case, Jeffy did not keep the excitement up. It had been nearly 30 seconds since the excitement happened. We have been through a big board replay of it, and he finally gets a chance to talk, and he clearly is not keeping up the energy. And you know what? That's fine. It would be kind of odd. Some people do it better. But now let's check out some international broadcasters in this exact same moment.
Ils vont jouer le shoot de la victoire pour Curry. Il est loin. Et il est dedans. Il est dedans.
C'est pas vrai!
Che non chiede il time out. Ma che questo?
So sure, it's clear that I like the team approach to big moments, especially if they're reserved for the genuinely shocking. And yes, it probably could get messy if that's how the entire broadcast is. And of course, it would be hell for anyone trying to cut together the montage. I mean, you could not have two people trying to drop catchphrases at once. But let's take a step back. Because when you take all this into account, and you actually notice this when you watch games, you might come to the conclusion that I did. That this strict, clinical, turn your head and cough approach to human excitement, it's kinda cold. And lonely. Now, to be fair to myself, even though fair doesn't exist, I'll punch you if you ever say it. The caveat I had to the overall point was that in crucial moments, in big game moments, end of game moments, that's when this rule really kicks in. And it usually also matters if it's a national broadcast, because a lot of local teams, they just get sloppy. And as we also have seen, international duos don't give a crap and just go all in on their reactions. But what's interesting about this one is that I've seen this clip so many times, and it never occurred to me that this situation is unique because Stacey King steps way outside of his boundaries, the typical boundaries, and by pure force, by pure emotion and will, he tells Nick Funk, or Tim Funk, that he's gonna take charge of this one. And I love it. Because when the dunk happens, if you listen closely, old Timmy is trying to deliver his line. And Stacey wants nothing to do with his line and decides this is his moment. And my God, it was a great moment.
Good defense. Lead pass.
Stop it! Stop it! Do not do him like that! What are you doing, Dragons? Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs.
He double clutches this. Watch this.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, he actually pumps this ball. Watch.
I want to go higher! Oh my goodness! Dragons!
This might be one of the best dunk calls because not only does he say the name of the dunker, which you gotta do, but he also names the person who got dunked on, which is key to any serious poster dunk, any dunk where somebody legitimately got dunked on. The announcer must bring them into the story with their call. This is key because you are crystallizing this moment, and it's something that should be able to be delivered. It should be able to be sold as a top shot moment, and everything should be understood, who the players are and how devastating it was. And you got to name check those people. It's what the guy blew completely, the local guy blew completely when he called the Anthony Edwards dunk. This was the actual call.
Turned over. Anthony Edwards! That time he does finish!
We didn't get a proper call until later, and it really is going to have to be Frankenstein together in order to be a legitimate all-time moment, especially minus the audience. There's no crowd. So you need an artist. You need somebody to grasp that emotion and the moment and deliver it in words. And he's over here just giving us a continuation of whatever half-ass crap play happened a little while ago that nobody actually cares about and then nobody's looked up. Nobody's looked up the other time that Anthony Edwards tried to dunk and he didn't finish or whatever it was.
That time he does finish!
This is why certain people are built for local. But unfortunately, some of these local people are fully in charge of these all-time moments. And I feel like there needs to be some sort of schooling on this. When you are faced with an all-time great play, what do? How do you call it? How do you call it? What are the bare minimum requirements? I've talked about this so much. You got to say the name of the player. You got to say exactly what happened. And if you can, give us a little context for the moment, but that's not required. Some people do it better than others, and that's fine. I'm not asking for everybody to be James Baldwin out there. I'm just saying at least clear the lowest hurdle possible.
What a play by Dave Cowan!
That's it. Anyway, Stacey here barrels his way verbally through Tim Funk, Nick Funk, I'm not sure what his name is, and it's the best thing that could have ever happened for this moment in this dunk. Mind you, is it that much of a facial? Is it that much of a poster dunk? Historically, now it is, because of the way it was called. So he gave us something and attached those names, and he continued on. Not only did he do the play-by-play guy's job with an initial framing of what happened, he goes on to do his own job as color commentary, recontextualizing it with a moment to think about it, which is what they usually do. They usually get about 10 to 30 seconds to think about it, watch the replays, and then they have their chance to take over. But that's what's beautiful about this, because he did it so seamlessly, and he overpowered Tim and his voice so distinctly.
Stop it! Stop it! Do not do him like that! What are you doing?
That Tim just drowned out, and Stacey just kept going and taking it
Higher!
And this is really one of the best dunk calls that I've ever seen in my life. Ever heard in my life. And it needs a little bit more appreciation, not just from the dunk, but the call. The call itself. I love the cracking of his voice. The way the voice elevates and it keeps going up. That's key to a lot of these moments. You're gonna start low, You got to go higher. And when you reach that point where your voice starts cracking a little bit, that is pure. It reminds me of one of my favorite clips of all time. It's the Olympic clip where the men's relay team, the American men's relay team, came back and won at the last 0.1 second in swimming. And the call on that was magnificent. It was perfect. Between the two guys going back and forth and the way their voices elevated, not just in loudness, but in pitch, into almost an actual explosion of sound.
Here comes Lezak! Unbelievable at the end! He's done it! The U.S. has done it! He did it! He did it!
We can talk about that later. But anyway, I want to appreciate Stacy. I'd love to have you on the show to talk about this exact clip. Love everybody. Thank you. And this is just a little Storyteller Minute to kind of rehash an old idea. How about, what we call it something? A Storyteller Minute Resurrections. Storyteller Resurrections. We bring up all NBA Storyteller Resurrections. And I'll have a drink over here and maybe a sponsor on the table that you can't see yet. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys. Patrons, I got something special for you. Everything evergreen. Remember Minute. And this isn't the beginning anymore, but we're definitely not. We're not at the end. This is the end of the beginning.